going on? Yeah.
What do you see from Michael Mayer? Had a pretty big game on Sunday.
Yeah, he did. Mike did a lot of things in the passing game, running game. Like we discussed back previous weeks. His role's growing, his production's growing, and I've seen players gain a little confidence, from the production and just feel himself kind of give some production in terms of statistics. But like I told you guys before, I think he felt some production from his contribution in the running game and as a pass blocker and those type of things. And then now it's kind of just translated into his production on the field in terms of statistics. But again, none of those plays have changed or anything like that. It's just, again, the quarterback's doing a good job of going through some progressions and finding him, and then the coverage dictating where the ball to go, and he's found some production there. So pleased with Michael's progress. He still has a long way to go. He's aware of that, but he's a player, like I said, gets better every week, and so continue to go on that journey has been fun.
As his confidence grew, did you see other players around him, their confidence grow in him as well?
Sure, and I think a lot of players, it's funny, you saw the play to Trey Tucker last week in the game on third down where he caught the ball down the field. I think all those young guys who put in a lot of work, all those older guys kind of, they're really happy for him because they see their hard work and production pay off, and that not only does the production give you confidence, but your fellow teammates' belief in you and that affirmation of, hey, yeah, you can do this, kind of gives you some confidence too. So, like Jacoby Myers was the first person to go, get Trey Tucker after that big play, which is really cool to see, because he saw it and he's seen it in practice. He's happy for him that the hard work's kind of paying off a little bit here and there. But, I think all these guys would agree that, production's great, but I think winning the game is probably not the number one priority.
Mick, is there a game plan, or is it even possible to have a game plan in place for when you have to go to your backup quarterback at a moment's notice?
I think every backup quarterback in the NFL, his number one job is to prepare like the starter, and that's what both our guys do on a weekly basis, whether it's Aiden or Brian. So you go in there and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to make sure I'm in every quarterback meeting, I'm thinking like the starter, I'm going through my reads and practice like the starter, whether it's a mental rep or a physical rep. And really you don't get the live reps, if you will, in practice, because that goes to the starter, and there's so many limited reps. But you can get those mentally, and you can get those throughout, meetings and tape watch and film watch. And it's the hardest job in sports to be the backup quarterback and to be going the game and not knowing, not having a feel, and then all of a sudden now you're playing. So I thought Brian did a good job of that, coming out after halftime and executing the offense and getting us in scoring position. So it's a difficult task, but all those guys prepare, as you saw in Chicago last week, same thing. Justin Fields gets hurt, and the backup quarterback has to go in as a young player, and I'm sure he prepared just like the starters, like Brian did.
So what, from the coach's perspective, how does that kind of change for you guys, or does it at all?
No, you're still trying to win a game. You're not trying to lose the game, so you're still trying to go out there and win the game and put points on the board. We were winning by, I think 10 points at the time, but it was not going to be enough to win. So we had to go out there and not protect the backup quarterback, but go out there and try to win the football game, because that's really, at the end of the day, the number one priority. So if we didn't think the backup quarterback could do that, he would be our backup quarterback. So that's obviously something we try and take into account there.
And going back over the film, how did Brian play?
I thought Brian did a very good job. Again, first third down in the game, he gets in there and completes the ball down the field. I think as a whole, offensively, we have to improve in the red area. That's a big goal for us this week moving forward. And again, it's more execution based in terms of penalties, missed opportunities. Again, I have a running game and then unforced errors that we can control offensively. Nothing that the opponent really is doing to us that. But overall, I thought Brian did a good job moving the football, got us in scoring range. But just as a whole, offensively, the red zone production needs to be better.
What is the next step, I guess, in the red zone? What do you have to do better? And kind of a self-evaluation, maybe. What do you have to do better?
First of all, we can't commit turnovers. That's one. And the second one is we can't commit penalties. You look at the first drive of the game. We're down there. We have a 3rd and 1 on the 9-yard line, and we pop a run to the 4 with JJ. First down at the 4-yard line, and we get a holding penalty. That's unacceptable. We can't do that, because that now it's 1st and 20, 3rd and 11, all the way backed up to the 16-yard line. Same thing. Move down the field, we get offensive pass interference penalty on with Jacoby. Now it's 2nd and 20. So those are impossible situations. The red zone's hard enough. When you put yourself behind the sticks and then commit turnovers, you're going to have a tough day, and that's unfortunately what we did. So we got to correct those moving forward. Again, technique-based, execution-based, and then concentration-based. Because again, when you get to the red area, I think that first drive we had of the game was 18 plays or 17 plays. That takes some mental stamina to finish the game, finish the drive now, in terms of execution. We did a good job to execute on third down throughout the series there, but our execution down there needs to be at an all-time high, and our mental stamina to finish those needs to be at an all-time high. But players are eager to fix that. They're aware of it. They're ready to go to work on that tomorrow.
That was good.
What is, I guess, in evaluating the last couple of weeks, the key to getting maybe Devontae more involved? Is it something that teams are doing to you, or is it something that you guys need to do better?
Yeah, we'll go into every week and try and assess the game plan and say, hey, how can we get our skill players to football? We have a lot of skill players, and Devontae is a very good one for us, and he's had production for us this past year and a half, and he continued to do that. So every game plan meeting we had, every situation we go into, we looked, hey, what is the best position we can, not only to score points, get first downs, but how can we get everybody involved? And Devontae's at the epicenter of that all the time.
Yesterday, Josh was kind of talking about putting Zamir in a little bit more to keep Josh fresh. What were some things that you liked from Zamir in the limited snaps he had?
Really pleased and proud of the way Zamir's been kind of playing, and I think his role has been growing each week. Again, this doesn't go very noticed again in terms of production, but we call it the jam protection, where he hit the end and then got out on a check down and caught. They played a certain coverage, there was nobody open, and Jimmy did a great job of finding the back, but the chip on the end eliminated the rush, and then he got out on his check down and got positive yards. That's being a dependable player that's doing your job. I thought Zamir's done a great job of doing his job. Run play may not be there in terms of hole, sticks his foot in the ground, gets vertical, positive yards. He's done a better job of that each week, and he's done a very nice job of just playing off of J.J. early downs, which he'll continue to do. But he's again a player that got a lot of reps in training camp and a lot of reps throughout the spring, and I think those reps, and then again it goes back to the confidence thing. A couple plays here and there, just hey, getting your pads hit, getting your bell around a little bit, getting the ball downhill, your confidence kind of takes off a little bit, and you're seeing that I think with a lot of young players on our team.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Mick.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.